The Marvels is way worse than I expected it was going to be. Not to the extent that most people on the internet were thinking it was going to be, but this still is pretty bad. Like, honestly, I am fairly shocked that Marvel released it in the state that it was in. Like, this movie was so undercooked. There were so many blatant issues that I don't know I don't know what they were thinking releasing this movie. This movie is so bad. I can't even describe, and especially at the state that Marvel's in right now. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like no matter what, I don't know, I don't think if this movie was one of the best MCU movies of all time, this movie was basically set up for failure. I think we could all admit that. And I think one of the biggest reasons for that is the whole Disney Plus thing. The fact that Marvel is basically expecting you to have seen Ms. Marvel, WandaVision, and Secret Invasion is kind of ridiculous. And I'm not saying it's impossible to watch this movie without seeing all the other movies. Of course they do explain, their character, their backstories, and all that other stuff. But for the most part, it is just so insane. And I feel so bad for some of the casual audiences that go and see this movie and just all these new characters out of nowhere that they probably haven't seen. Because yeah, they do have their introductions and all that, but it's just so out of left field. It's kind of ridiculous. And this is gonna be a full spoiler review, so if you haven't seen this movie since this just came out by the time of this recording, please just, I don't know, just keep watching, I guess. I don't know. So basically, I guess with the plot of this movie, this is basically just a loosely connected plot, just have action sequences. Basically, the plot is that there's this villain named Dar-Ben, if you even can remember her name. I just remember it because I just looked it up 2 seconds ago. She's basically dollar store Ronan the Accuser. If you thought that Ronan the Accuser was one of the most generic villains of the MCU, you would be sorely you should be then you would be surprised to see how bad this is. I like the fact that we're in phase 5 and we're still having this villain issue problem. This has to be one of the worst villains of the MCU by far. She's not intimidating, she's not threatening, she's not even a good character at all. There's a point in this movie where Ms. Marvel says to Captain Marvel that if it wasn't for our power switching thing, you would literally beat her ass. It would be done. It would be over. And also the fact that she has this band that Ms. Marvel has, she would have been wiped out. She actually would have been destroyed. And also we have the Kree as the main bad guys with Dar-Ben leading them, and she has this personal sidekick that just has a man bun, which is so weird. Do you remember in the first Guardians whenever Ronan had this cool cyborg guy? What the hell is going on? I really don't she actually is the worst villain of the MCU by far, no debate. But with the plots, basically her plan is just to suck up planets cores and resources to help Hala survive because their sun is dying, because Captain Marvel apparently killed it in the past and she never fixed it. And it's so weird because in this movie, basically the reason why Captain Marvel never came back to Earth was apparently just because she wanted to fix Hala and she didn't feel right going back. And it's so weird because at the end of the movie she just does because at the end of the movie she goes straight to Hala and fixes it lickety split, no problem. And I thought to myself, did you just never think about just doing it on your own? Because it's basically just a side thing that's just barely even mentioned. It's not even it just doesn't make sense. And also because she uses the band or whatever and the jump points open, Monica, Ms. Marvel, and Captain Marvel are entangled in their powers keep making them switch places. The gimmick is so stupid and it's barely explained. It just says if you use your powers at the same time you switch, and I know it's just a loosely way to get the 3 main heroes all together, but it's so it feels so contrived and it's just so stupid whenever they do it. And also with the characters, I feel Monica is okay, she's fine, but she doesn't really have much to work with here. The only cool thing that I kind of liked with her was her whole connection with Captain Marvel, with her mom and all that stuff. I thought that was alright. I think Captain Marvel again has nothing to do. She's barely even a character. She's just the main character just for the sake of it, just because it's her movie. There's nothing she goes through at all. She's just there along for the ride. The only character that gives me some semblance of life in this whole entire movie is Ms. Marvel. The actress who plays her and what she's given is so good. It's I feel like she was in a different movie or something like that. It's crazy. Like, I'm actually excited to see where she goes following in future projects. But this, I felt bad for her for being in this movie in general. And I don't even know what to say. And with other characters like Nick Fury, oh brother, I don't know what to say. Nick Fury was basically ruined in this. Because in theory, this is like supposed to directly tie into Secret Invasion, because Secret Invasion takes place right before this, probably like some months or weeks afterwards. And it's so weird just seeing the personality of Nick Fury, who is super serious, super depressed and sad in this. And here, he's a freaking goofball, just goofing around with Ms. Marvel's parents, or the cats. I'm gonna get into the cats. But everything he's given is just jokes, and it's not even funny. It's just so stupid. And also, with the cats, I'm going to bring up now, the marketing department, oh boy, they were loving the cats. The cats here are so stupid, which are basically, Flurkin, like the alien and whatever. Basically, Goose from the first movie has, like, little kitty cats or whatever, and whenever the Saber base is basically being, like, destroyed or whatever, they all go like, guys, we need to have the cats eat the crew so that they can all survive. And it's, like, so stupid, because we have a whole montage of our main heroes, like, getting the cats to eat all the crew members. And it's just so, like, what the hell is going on? It's so stupid. It's not even, like, funny at all. And along with that, we also have another more stupid stuff, the musical planet. This, honestly, this was some of the worst scenes I've seen in the MCU. It's so stupid. It adds nothing to the movie. And I heard that this was the part that was cut out the most. And I can understand why, because this was bad. Like, this really was bad. Like, the only scene that this added was the fact that Captain Marvel is apparently a princess for no reason. And the fact that they give our heroes, like, new suits to fight the bad guys. And I gotta say, the suit that Captain Marvel gets is so bad. It is a literal downgrade compared to her original suit. It is night and day how bad it is. And also, with other characters in this, we have Valkyrie, who's here for no reason. And it's so weird because, like, we have this, like, prequel level dialogue to where they go like, oh, I'm always here to help you, and, like, I finally see that you have a team. And it's like, what the, you women have never interacted in the MCU before. You guys have never been, like, seen in a scene together. There was no build up or anything, and it looks like they're, like, hinted to be like a couple or something for no reason. I really don't know. It reminds me of the prequels whenever Anakin and Obi-Wan go like, Master, do you remember that adventure from so long ago? And it's like, at least in those it makes sense because we know that they've been together fighting and all that, doing all that stuff. But in this, it's like, what the hell? I really don't know what to say. And also, I guess with all the other stuff, I guess, like, we have, at the end of the movie, Kamala has, like, this thing to where she steals, like, Nick Fury's iPad, and then she goes to Kate Bishop from Hawkeye and goes like, do you know that Ant-Man has a daughter? And I'm like, I really feel, if they're really doing the whole Young Avengers side plot, I really feel like Marvel's gonna drop that, because with people's reception to, like, all the Young Avengers, I really feel like this isn't working. Because I do like Ms. Marvel, I do like Kate Bishop, but all the other characters I'm, like, iffy towards, because, like, with Wanda's kids, they're, like, alright, but they're not real. With Ironheart, I'm like, I'll take it or leave it. With Ant-Man's daughter, I freaking hate Cassie, so I really don't know what to say about this whole Young Avengers bit. I swear to you, I promise, I guarantee that they're going to drop this, or either just make this some stupid side plot in the next Avengers movie. I guarantee it. And also, with the whole marketing of this movie, might I say, this was desperate at the finest. This is how to not market a movie. The fact that they marketed this movie with the cats, making that a main drive, the whole switching powers gimmick, that was horrible. And the fact that later, during, like, the end parts of their marketing, whenever the movie was about to release, they had literal clips of the original Avengers. Like, they had literal They had literal clips of the original Avengers and the whole Endgame stuff. Like, there are literal trailers whenever Thanos goes like, more people will finish my work with it going up to Darben, and I'm like, this is really getting desperate. And the fact that they spoiled Valkyrie in the trailer as well is also more desperate. This reminds me of Shazam 2, whenever they try to spoil Wonder Woman. Like, how desperate does this need to feel? I'm sorry, but this really freaking killed it for me. Like, the only interesting thing in this movie is Kamala Khan and the whole X-Men thing, because that might hopefully tie in to Deadpool 3. And the X-Men thing, I'm like, they are really waiting to get to the X-Men, I can tell, because this isn't working, Chief. Kevin Feige, I know you can cook. I know. And I know you're waiting to get to the X-Men. But please give a shit about stuff like this, because if stuff like this isn't working, then the whole House of Cards is gonna fall apart. This is honestly one of the worst MCU's movies of all time. It's not like Thor Love and Thunder Bats where it ruins the characters. It's not like Thor The Dark World where it just like is boring. It's just bad. It's not even like funny bad to where it could laugh at itself. It plays itself just generic. There's nothing really to it. I'm giving this movie like a 4 out of 10. This is just sad. I don't know what I expected from this, but I don't know. Don't forget to please like and subscribe, and if you can, please support me on Patreon. I'm just gonna watch Avengers Mightiest Heroes. At least that has a Captain Marvel I can like feel alive to. This isn't working. Marvel, please take some time to fix whatever you're missing.